By the end of this assignment, 3 of these 4 special agents will have been eliminated by alien intelligence. By the end of this assignment, only 1 will have fulfilled his mission to become the Master Spy. With Jenny Lee Wright as the inscrutable Miss Moneypacker, here now is the man in control, your resident spy master, William Franklyn.
Good evening. The film you're about to see was shot in a typically English high street filled with typically English people. Or was it? Take a close look at these 2 very ordinary people doing their weekend shopping. To their neighbors, they're known as Frank and Laura Cookson, those nice people next door. In fact, we believe that they're 2 of the most dangerous spies on the payroll of Anarchy International. Proving it, and at the same time preventing any further espionage activities, will be the task facing our 4 special agents, chosen specially for their dialectic aptitudes. Moneypacker, could we have the first agent in screening?
Certainly, Major. Agent David Jones is a computer specialist. He's 30, and although he was born in Wales, he now lives in Leamington Spa.
Sit down. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Now, I see from your dossier, amongst other things, that you're very keen on backgammon. Does it require any kind of deviousness?
Deviousness, hiding pieces up your sleeve and putting them back.
No, I didn't mean quite like that. I meant in your thought processes.
My thought processes? No, I don't have devious thought processes.
I see. Well, you might need devious thought processes in this particular game.
Right.
I want you to imagine that your neighbor is behaving rather oddly, and also, constantly attendant on him, is in fact a motor car which obviously has Eastern Bloc connections. The CD plates, and the actual make of the car. Now, this happens over a period of a couple of months, and it becomes slightly obsessive with you to find out what he's up to. Who are these strange people that appear in dark grey worsted to visit him? You decide to examine his tool shed, not quite knowing what you might find, and he interrupts you. Give your innocent explanation.
I think I'd have really dumbfounded, said I'd always fancied having a Japanese motor car. So I wanted to go and have a closer look to see what they were like.
Assuming that there was a Japanese motor car in the tool shed.
Well, if it was an Eastern Bloc motor car.
Eastern Bloc? I didn't mean Far Eastern Bloc, actually. I meant rather near the Balkans,
yeah,
perhaps.
he would show that I wasn't too suspicious if I mistook his car for a Japanese one.
I see. Oh, well, that seems fairly reasonable. We'll pass that over for a moment.
Super.
Now, mechanical codes are a constant challenge to agents in the field, and this typewriter is a typical example. I'm going to feed an envelope in here, and I would like you to... Sorry, we'll have to put it that way, I think. And I want you to type the word madam. Madam. M-A-D-A-M. Would you just type it?
Right. There you go.
Right, and what have you got now?
Civic.
Now, that's absolutely quite reasonable. It's not your fault that you've got Civic. In fact, this typewriter has a mind of its own. But now, this next question you may find a little mind-boggling. Assuming that the rest of the keys behave quite normally, what keys would you expect to press to get the word convict? Remembering that for madam, you got Civic. Convict.
M?
Yes?
I missed the second one.
No, you'd be right to carry on as it was. Go on.
I can't get the O from anywhere.
Well, from convict you can. You see the point? The M was a change.
Right.
O and N are in convict because they weren't changed. D-A-M-T. If you like to think about that, you'll realize which letters were normal and which ones were part of the changeover.
Right.
Would you like to return to the briefing bay?
Agent George Philpotts is an engineering student. He's 22, single, and he comes from Farringdon in Oxfordshire.
Good to have you with us. Now, I want you to assume that whilst you're keeping surveillance on a block of flats through a pair of binoculars, dressed as a vicar, you are arrested by a policeman next morning in court, still maintaining your cover. What explanation would you give the the judge?
I think a good ruse might be to say that you were invited to a fancy dress party and that since it was across the street, you thought you might have a look through binoculars to see what everyone else was wearing before you went across there.
I think you come out very high in the ingenuity stakes. Yes, I like that very much. Now, this will test your ingenuity as well. This is a code typewriter. I'm going to put an envelope in here, and I want you to type for me the word civic, C-I-V-I-C. Now, what have you come up with?
Madam, M-A-D-A-M.
Yes, well, you had no control over that because I told you it was a code typewriter. Now, assuming the rest of the letters behave perfectly normally, what letters would you expect to type if you were typing the word adamant?
Adamant. I, V.
Yes.
I again.
Yes.
C.
Yes.
I again.
Yes. Go ahead, ignore that. We can't ignore it any longer. You did very well. It's I-V-I-C-N-T. Would you like to enjoy your...
Julia Watmar is a 25-year-old civil servant from Wimbledon in London.
Hello, Wasmer. Good to have you with us.
Good afternoon.
Now, you have, according to your dossier, 3 quite interesting areas of interest, which I'd like to be filled on a detailed background. You write short stories, you brew your own beer, and you go in for weightlifting. I have a picture of your home life, which is quite fascinating, but I'd like to hear you develop it.
Well, I find the 3 things interact rather well. Drinking the beer helps me write short stories. It gives me the inspiration. And weight training helps me to carry the crates of beer.
I just wondered can you write short stories when you're sober?
I've never tried, but I could always in future.
Well, I like that. Now, in the early hours of every morning, your neighbor, you hear from your neighbor's flat high-frequency sort of buzz and sound, and you wake out of a sleep, and you begin to realize that it, in fact, is Morse coming over. Now, this has actually happened to a friend of mine. What action would you take, if any?
Well, it's strange that you should say that it happened to a friend of yours, because it did, in fact, happen to me in the past. I, at the time, was living next door to a jazz musician, and I assumed that the noise was this particular man rehearsing a very eccentric version of one-note samba. But I think the government lost out in the end due to my
I see.
particular
That's very
weakness
interesting.
there.
Well, let's see how strong you are on mechanical aids. Your mechanical codes are a constant problem to agents in the field. This typewriter is a perfect example. I'm going to put an envelope in it, and I want you to type for me the word refer. R-E-F-E-R. Right, and what have you come up with?
Solos.
Solos, that's right. Well, you had nothing to do with that. It was out of your hands. Now, the next question may strike you as being slightly difficult, but I want you to think about it. Let us assume the rest of the keys behave perfectly normally. What letters would you expect to type to get the word saloons, knowing that those have behaved like they have? Needn't type them, just say them.
R.
Yes.
A.
Yes.
F.
Yes.
O. O. N.
Very nearly. double-E-N-R. Your percentage rate was very high. Would you like to join your colleagues back in the briefing bay?
Agent Ravi Martins is Goanese. He's married with three children, but he now lives in Bushey in Hertfordshire, and he works as a computer operations consultant.
Martin, make yourself comfortable. It's not often that we get in this department the possibility of having a Goanese graphologist, so perhaps you'd like to fill in the background to a Goanese graphologist.
Certainly. First of all, it's not Goanese, it's Goan.
Goan. Yes,
Goan,
perhaps
yes.
you'd like to explain what Goan is.
Goans are people who come from Goa, which is a little ex-Portuguese territory on the west coast of India.
And the graphology part of it?
Graphology part, well, that started at school. Being smaller than the average person at school, I decided I better find out how to choose my friends. And the only way to find out their character was to learn graphology, you see.
Which is, in fact, the study of...
Of handwriting, a way of telling the character through handwriting.
I see. Well, now here's another chance for you to use an instinct. You've actually captured, as far as you believe, a foreign agent who you're going to take to headquarters. You put him in the boot of your car. At that moment, one of your neighbors passes by and starts to have a very innocent conversation with him. During this conversation, suddenly, there's this terrible hammering coming on from the boot of the car. What would be your innocent explanation? Well,
actually, that's my wife. You see, she doesn't like traveling in the car. She gets travel sickness, so she's got to travel in the boot.
I see. Do you tie her up or anything, or does she get involuntarily?
Oh, she gets involuntarily, has to.
I see. Well, that's fairly convenient. Now, mechanical codes, they're something that agents are coming across all the time, particularly when they're in the field, and this typewriter is an example. I would like you to type, if you would, the word solos onto that envelope.
Pardon?
Solos. So, and what have you come up with?
Oh, refer.
Yes, well, that's not your fault, because this typewriter is quite willful, and it does what it wants to on occasion. Now, imagining the rest of the keys type perfectly normally, what letters would you expect to type to get the word feeder?
F O E.
Feeder. F-O-O-E. Now, I'm afraid it's L-O-O-D-O-S. You'll have time to think about it later on. All right? If you'd like to join your colleagues back in the briefing bay. Now, I wonder if you all noticed something about the words you were given and the words that came up. Refer, madam, solos, and civic. If you do notice anything about those words and the structure of them, bear them in mind, because you will use them later on, all right? Thank you, Moneypacker.
Pleasure, Major.
And now to tonight's assignment. The circuit diagram facing you on the screen is the blueprint of an electronic rangefinder by which our missile defense managed to remain one step ahead of any would-be aggressors. Now, 3 days ago in Belgrade, a double agent reported to us that a photograph of this diagram was circulating in the Bosnovian embassy. As a result, these two people have come under very close scrutiny. They are, in fact, Frank and Laura Cookson, who run an export business in a large office block in North Finchley, trading under the name of Nautical Novelties Export Limited. We happen to believe that they're part of an organized spy ring threatening our national security. Your mission, quite simply, is to find out how far the operation has gone and to catch them red-handed. Miss Moneypacker will fill you in with the details of your cover story.
Thank you, Major. In order to gain access to the Cookson's place of business without arousing suspicion, you will each assume the covering role of naval historians. Now, if you've spent the last 3 weeks wisely, you will have studied your subject in depth. As now, we must test your ability to keep your cover intact by subjecting each of you to interrogation. Agent Jones, please take the chair.
Right, Jones, 5 questions to be answered as quickly as possible, because even a wrong answer, you'll be credited for unshakable confidence. Right. You quite relaxed? The Battle of Mylae in 260 BC was Rome's first great naval victory. What nation did they beat?
Carthage.
Quite correct. The American vessel, the Turtle, was the first underwater craft to attack an enemy warship. Who was the victim?
It was the British frigate Eagle.
Absolutely right. And what was the war?
American War of Independence.
Correct. What did Nelson lose in a brief encounter at Tenerife?
His arm.
Which one?
His right arm.
Correct. And this is your final question. What was the name of the first all-big-gun turbine-driven battleship which at a stroke rendered all previous construction obsolete?
HMS Dreadnought.
Correct.
Agent Jones has scored a total of 25 out of a possible 25.
Philpott, will you take the chair? All right, Philpott. Your questions, 5 of them. In what war was the Battle of Sluys?
This was the 100 Years' War between the English and the French.
Absolutely correct. Lord Effingham led the British fleet against the Armada. Who was his legendary vice-admiral?
Sir Walter Raleigh.
The other one, Sir Francis Drake, I'm afraid. At what battle did Nelson get a severe wound over his blind right eye?
This was the Battle of the Nile.
Correct. The wooden French vessel, La Gloire, was the first of her kind. What asset did she have that made her so remarkable?
She had armor plating 5 inches thick around her vital parts.
Absolutely correct. At the Battle of the River Plate, the Germans lost one of their best strikers. What was her name?
The Graf Spee.
Correct.
Agent Philpotts has scored 20 out of a possible 25, plus 1 for confidence, which is a total of 21.
Wasmer, will you take the chair? All right, Wasmer, relaxed. In what battle did Don John of Austria spectacularly defeat the Turkish fleet?
The Battle of Lepanto.
Correct. Who was the British admiral who in George II's reign was shot for losing a naval battle?
Admiral Byng.
Correct. Where did Nelson lose his right eye?
That was while he was capturing Calvi in Corsica.
Absolutely correct. At the Battle of Jutland in World War I, who remarked as another British ship sunk, there seems to be something wrong with our bloody ships today, Chatfield?
Admiral Beatty.
Correct. In the same war, the German cruiser Emden sunk 22 Allied ships in 97 days. How did she do it?
She disguised herself as the British cruiser Yarmouth.
Absolutely correct.
Agent Wasmar has scored a total of 25 out of a possible 25.
Agent Martins, would you take the chair? You're in a Roman mood, Martins. At the Battle of Actium, whom did the Roman Octavian defeat?
Antony and Cleopatra.
Correct. In 1667, there occurred one of the few successful sea attacks made on the British Isles. What were the nationality of the ships that sailed up the Medway and bombarded Chatham?
Dutch.
Correct. Nelson finally died at the Battle of Trafalgar. Where is Trafalgar?
Off Cadiz.
Correct. The Habakkuk, H-A-B-B-A-K-U-K, was to be an anti-U-boat aircraft carrier, but it was cancelled in 1943 when the U-boat war swung in favor of the Allies. If built, what would the Habakkuk have weighed?
2 million tons.
That's quite correct. It's quite a tonnage too, isn't it?
It is.
And what would have been the main building materials?
Ice and pulp.
Absolutely correct, with a refrigeration system built in.
Agent Martins has scored 25 out of a possible 25.
Would you like to return the
And that little sound tells me that Agent Jones, with 25, must be eliminated from tonight's assignment.
Bad luck, Jones, to have done so well and come so far. But you're not going to retire unrewarded. If you report to Moneypacker, she'll see that you have something to remember the department for.
We'd like to present you with this precision-made pocket calculator. It's about the smallest in the world, but it's built to deal with the very largest mathematical problems. It's also a digital clock with an alarm, and it's programmed to give you the time anywhere in the world at any time. Congratulations, and thank you for joining us on the mission.
3 agents are left to complete the mission, which is becoming more urgent by the minute. This photograph has come into our possession. If you think you can identify the object, you'll be a couple of minutes ahead of us when we return with this assignment of the Masterspy. The connection between this photograph and this mathematical formula has not yet been established, but they could have a strong bearing on the success of your mission tonight. They were both found in the possession of this man, of whom you'll see more in a minute. His arrest late last night followed a long and protracted surveillance of the house in which Frank and Laura Cookson live. We know beyond all doubt that the mathematical formula is the key to NATO's latest strike weapon. But the connection with this object here, we don't know yet. I'm going to ask you if you think you know what the object is. First of all, look at it, observe it, and when I put my hand down, the first one out will score the points. Look at it. Right, who thinks they know what it is? Yes?
It's Nelson's column.
As a matter of fact, you could be right. Let's have a look. It is indeed Nelson's column seen from a more familiar angle. Now, the relevance of this will become more clear when you see the film we're going to show you on the screen. Watch the film and listen very carefully to everything Moneypacker says.
Filming from the house directly opposite, our undercover agent soon discovered that the Cooksons had deactivated the bugging device which he had fitted to their telephone. In fact, we now know that Frank and Laura Cookson are better known in espionage circles as Franz and Lottie Gordinsky. There seemed to be some altercation over an item in a small account book which is thought to record the illicit payments made to those people unlucky enough to fall foul of their ruthless brand of blackmail. It was exactly 11:37 yesterday morning when a car drew up outside the house. This man is Raymond Frederick Wellings, a film laboratory technician with a freelance activity which takes no account of the Official Secrets Act. His fate will shortly be sealed in a microdot, hidden in a nautical product on its way to Anarchy International. His arrival caused a flurry of activity inside the house. By the time Wellings had been ushered into the living room, all was sweetness and light. And whatever the hapless accomplice had to offer warranted the production of a sherry bottle. Into this picture of suburban coziness came something which could have the most sinister implications. According to Welling's statement, Laura passed off the diagram as a blueprint for one of their nautical novelties. But we've already identified it as a highly secret tank turret design. In Brixton Prison, Raymond Frederick Wellings knows all too well that it's curtains for him, and unfortunately it was curtains for us as well.
I'd like you to turn round and face me, and we'll see how your powers of observation have shaped up. We're going to get 3 questions each. Philpott. In espionage circles, Laura Cookson is better known by another name. What is it?
Laura Nijinsky.
It was a good anagram, but it's Lottie Gordinsky. I don't think she danced very much. When Raymond Wellings got out of his car, what did he take with him into the house?
An attaché case.
That's quite correct. You saw Lottie produce the blueprint of a turret design. Was this before or after the sherry was being poured out?
This was after.
Correct. Wasmer, what was the time when Welling drew up in his car?
11:30.
11:37. I'll give you that within 7 minutes. What is Raymond Welling's middle name?
Frederick.
Correct. What was the last thing we saw done on the film and who did it?
The curtains drawn by...
Half the mark. His name was Franz. Martins, apart from the proceeds from his treachery, how does Welling earn his living?
The salesman.
No, he's a film laboratory technician. Of the 3 people we saw on the film, who was the first to sit down?
Mrs.
No, it was a Mr. and his name was Welling. Where would you find Raymond Wellings at this moment?
No.
If you were in that area, you'd find him in Brixton Prison. Now, tonight's assignment is made more complicated by the Cookson security system, which is as dangerous as it is devious. If you'd cross over to Moneypacker, she will elaborate.
Thank you, Major. Would you like to come over here? Now, this key protection device is standard equipment for all agents of Anarchy International, and this is how it operates. This metal base is connected to this transformer, and the circuit is completed when this metal box is resting on the base. Between the metal box and the base, there is a key. This key will open this lock here. A coded signal has been put inside the slit in the metal box in the lid, which is covered by this balloon. Now, to find the microdot, you must first decode the signal. Obviously, first you must get the signal out of the metal box. Working as a team, we want you to use your combined initiative. But remember, if you touch anything that is metal, while this device is in circuit, and it is in circuit now, we might be writing to your next of kin. One other thing, we want you to discuss your strategy as you go along, and you can start now. Mind your try on the 10,000 volts.
Oh, we're waiting for a code.
Yes, we've got to find a way of getting to the
The key
lock.
in the box.
Yes, that's right. You've got to get the key.
Anything we touch.
Is electrified, 10,000 volts. You can't do it with your hand, so maybe you could do it with...
Can we push the...
That's it.
Well, you can take it off, you can
Yes.
pick it up and take it off.
okay.
That you can take off because it's rubber and
Okay.
it's... Now then, it's something to do with that balloon. Yes,
Of a rubber
you
band.
can undo the balloon, you can take the rubber band off if you feel like it. I mean,
What about
feel
if we
free to
put
play
the
with the
balloon,
balloons.
That's right. Use the
in it,
rubber
take
band.
that
Yeah.
off, push
Take the
that
rubber
in
band
there
off.
and...
Right.
That's right.
Ah,
How about that?
now you're getting hot. I think you'll have to, yes, you're getting nearer, but you haven't quite got the right
you
end of the balloon in.
If you deflate the balloon,
Deflate
put
the
it
balloon.
in, blow it up, we can lift it off with the balloon.
Correct.
Balloon doesn't
We have a genius
deflate.
here. Ah, yes, it does, eventually. That's it, just give it a quick tug. Be careful because... Now then.
Any suggestions?
Now be careful you don't touch any metal. That's your only...
How would you like to do this?
Right, okay.
Okay, Philpott, off you go. Mind your tie and anything else that may...
Right.
Now then.
Now if we seal it with that.
I think you can just lift it over.
Can we?
Try, have a go.
That's what
Keep
they're
going.
for.
Yes, strength, that's what we need. Well done, you've broken the circuit. Don't let it touch that metal base. Well done. Now, you can pick up the key.
But.
No, you can't touch the metal.
Yes, you've broken the circuit.
Yes, we
Oh,
already
so you
so we
can
can just...
Yes, now you can. Yes, now what's next?
Open the box.
Open the box. Familiar turn. And what have you got inside?
There's a printed slip with ASDFGH on.
Now then, this coded signal has some significance. You can all study it, and the first one to tell me its significance will improve their rating by 5. You have actually seen those letters of the alphabet this evening on a machine. And that's the only clue I'm giving you, folks. It's actually quite simple.
Pillar?
It's what?
Pillar.
Pillow, no, it's not a
Pillar.
word.
Sorry.
Pillar, no, it's not a word. It has a significance with a machine.
It's come from the coded typewriter we used earlier.
Yes, could you tell me where you saw it on the code typewriter? It's actually the third line down and the second line up on a typewriter. They are the letters of the alphabet. I'll leave the panel to decide how to divide the marks. You can improve your rating by 5. I think it's sort of half each between Philpotts and Rossmar. Thank you very much. Major?
Well, that balloon ascent and descent was very exciting. Moneypacker, let's have the latest readout of the ratings.
Certainly, Major. Agent Philpotts leads the field with 46. Agent Rossmar has 45. And that sound tells me that Agent Martins must be eliminated from tonight's assignment.
Well, Martins, bad luck to have come so far. And I'm afraid now is the time for you to retire, but Moneypacker will see that your devotion of duty to the department will not go unrewarded.
Thank you.
Agent Martins, we'd like you to accept these precision-made binoculars which have built-in electronic twin-zoom lenses. They really are quite magnificent. Thank you for joining us on the mission.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
2 agents left to complete the mission from which only one will return. Sadly, for your eyes only, to be read and carefully notated. Keep in radio contact with us, and good luck to both of you. Right, by now our special agents should be on their way to the 4th floor. Moneypacker, let's have the communication console on.
Certainly.
Right, switch on and track their movements.
From the adjacent office, we've managed to install a camera to scan through a ventilator. That's Laura Cookson working at her desk.
A very formidable woman. Let's hope our operatives keep their wits about them.
Come in.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
We are naval historians. We're very interested in your products. We wondered if we could see a catalogue.
Yes, certainly. Now, would you care to take a seat? And I'll get you a copy from our storeroom. We've just had some new ones printed, so you're lucky. Excuse me one moment. Now, do make yourselves at home. I shan't be one moment because I have to unpack them, all right?
Control to Sea Scout, you now have 3 minutes to find the microdot.
Agent Philpott, you hold the highest current rating, so the option to proceed is yours. If you make a mistake or falter, Agent Wasmar will have the right to take over. Off you go.
Right. I think the first thing to do is to see what is in this key protection device, which we've already seen. So being very carefully, I'll open it as we have done before.
Correct.
Bit more air and there you're away. Oops! That's it. Ah. Jolly good.
Good man. Very good.
What do you find inside?
There's a slip with some sort of coded message on it.
What does it say?
QWERTY.
What are you going to do next?
What does it mean?
Well, I think that since we've used a typewriter before, I will look at the typewriter and see if it's got any meaning to that.
Correct.
And it's on the top row of, or the second row down from the typewriter, the first row of letters.
Mm-hmm.
I think, since I don't know what really it means, I'll try typing the letters and see if that gives us
Yes, do.
any clue. And that says Nelson.
Very good.
Now, what are you going to do next? What was on the instructions when you came in?
Well, I got to observe what the person who was in here did.
Mm-hmm.
What was she doing when you entered?
I can't remember what she was doing when she entered, but she put some envelopes away.
Right, go
before she went away. So we'll look in the drawers.
Right.
Carefully.
It's not an exploding desk. I think you're all right.
Ah. We've got some envelopes here.
Now, think back to your first test.
Think what you're looking for on those envelopes. What are you looking for? Any idea?
You stop looking. Don't stop looking. Carry on.
Right.
Don't listen to us, except to carry on.
I think one thing we did when we did the typewriter first of all was that the letters were, all the words we used were all symmetrical words. I'm seeing if this has got any bearing with it.
Do you know what the words were?
Civic was one of them.
Yes, but what particular rule did they have which was constant?
They read the same backwards as forwards.
Right. Have you found one there? Change agents. You've missed it, I'm afraid.
Agent Vosmar, take over.
Time is of the essence.
Robert Trebor.
Yes, what about it?
Well, Trebor is the same as Robert.
Excellent, carry on.
I'll open it up.
Do you know what they're called, by the way, words that go the same way?
Palindromes.
Excellent.
And it's a picture of Nelson and another admiral.
Which one do you want?
Nelson.
Right. What about it? Have a look at the picture. Is there anything that interests you?
What are you looking for?
Well, I thought, seeing as the room is full of naval...
What about the picture?
The picture? He's got 2 arms.
Has he? Change agents. I'm afraid you missed the point. The other agent...
Agent Wilmot, take over. You're looking for something in this, what are you looking for on the vision?
In the picture, he's got 2 eyes.
Yes.
Looking in his left eye, there is a dot.
Right.
You're looking for?
So this would be presumably the microdot.
What are you going to do with the dot?
Remove it.
Yeah, that's right. Read it off. Right. Well done. You completed your mission, Wilmot. Return the base and fire.
Agent Wasmar, we're sorry you didn't quite manage to get the last hurdle, but if you'd like to go over to the desk and look in the bottom drawer, you'll find something to reward your efforts. The bottom drawer of the desk. And if you'd like to take out what you see there, you'll see that it's a piece of technical gadgetry which combines a pair of binoculars and a built-in miniature camera, allowing you to photograph anything you choose to bring into focus.
Oh,
many congratulations. Thank you.
Great.
Wilmot, you have well deserved the accolade Masterspy. Moneypacker?
Thank you, Major. And with it comes this multi-wave global radio receiver, which is just about the best in its class. It'll put you within earshot of the 4 corners of the earth. Congratulations.
Okay. It only remains for me to say thank you for being with us, and we hope that next time around you'll be with us for another assignment of The Masterspy.
And next week, The Master Spy is at the later time of 5:45.